Hi friends, happy Monday. Welcome back to school today. Today for math, you will need your Envisions book. You will also need to turn to page 55. This is where we'll start. And you'll need a pencil and some crayons. So go ahead and pause the video and grab the materials that you need. All right, friends, welcome back. Today for math, our learning target says, I can show ways to make 5. So our action word that we're going to do, we're working towards showing different ways to make our number 5, okay? And we're going to start by looking at page 55 with our solve and share. So if you're not on this page, go ahead and turn to this page now. If you need to pause the video and then start it again, go ahead and do that. Our directions say that 5 daisies are planted in a flower pot. Some are yellow and some are red. We're going to show one way to make 5 daisies by using our yellow and red crayon. Okay, so they've already given us an example of one way to put 5 daisies in a flower pot with yellow and red. So we're going to match that to show 5, okay? So let's start with the yellow crayon. We're going to count and mark out how many yellow flowers they already have for us. Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3. How many yellow did we count? 3. Let's color 3 of our daisies yellow also. So I'm going to color 1, 2, 3. Okay, so ours should match the daisies that they already have here for us. Now let's go ahead and switch to our red crayon. We're going to mark and count out how many red daisies there are. Ready? 1, 2. How many did we count? 2 red. We're going to take that same color and color 2 daisies. Ready? 1, 2. Very good. So now our daisies should match, again, what they have here on this page in the garden. So if we were going to actually plant these in a flower pot, we would say that we have 3 yellow and 2 red. But how many do we have all together? Let's use the crayon that we have in our hand now to mark and count out how many are in this row. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. What you just did is showed one way to make a group of 5. In this lesson, we're going to learn different ways to make 5. Thinking about, if I have yellow and red daisies, how many of each can I plant to have 5 all together? Okay? Great job, friends. Kiss your brain and turn to your guided practice page. All right. On our guided practice page, we're going to practice another way to make 5. So at the top here, they show us what we call a 5 frame. We call it a 5 frame because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes inside the frame. We use a 5 frame to help us quickly look with our eyes and see how many there are. So if there are 5 boxes and each one has a counter inside of it, we know that there are 5 counters all together. They're showing us that of those 5 counters, you can make 2 separate groups, a group of yellow and a group of red. Let's count and mark out those counters just to make sure, since this is our first time using a 5 frame, that there are 5 counters all together. Ready? Let's take our pencil and count and mark out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me a thumbs up if you also counted 5. Good. Now, how many yellow are there? 1. So we're going to trace 1 with our pencil. How many red are there? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 red, so let's trace our 4 down and over and down once more. So one way we can make a group of 5 is by having 1 and 4. So our friend who's working in the garden can plant 1 yellow daisy and 4 red daisies if he's allowed to plant 5 all together. That's another way to make a group of 5. This is a tricky skill and concept for you guys to be learning. This is something that we're going to also learn later in the school year, but right now, since we're learning the number 5 and numbers 2, 5, this is why we're practicing at this point in the school year too. Okay? So if it's kind of tricky in your brain, don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing great, and we're going to keep learning this together. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do next is show our 5 frame to match our flowers, our daisies, okay? So they already have an example for us. Let's start with our yellow crayon. Whoops, yellow. Okay, let's count and mark out our yellow daisies. Ready? 1, 2. Just like our 5 frame up here has counters in the shape of a circle, we're going to draw those counters to match down here too. So let's draw 2 circles, 2 yellow. 1, 2. Okay. Now let's trace our 2 with our yellow crayon. First a candy cane, then a shoe. That's the way to make a 2. So we know that in our group of 5 daisies, we already have 2 yellow. So if there are 2 yellow, then how many red can we have in our garden, our flower pot? If you said 3, you're correct. Let's count the 3 red. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So let's draw 3 red counters. 1, 2, 3. 1 in each box. And see how we're going from left to right? And we're drawing our counters right under the color it matches. Okay? So now we're going to show that of this group of 5, there are 2 yellow and 3 red. So let's trace our 3 with our red. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. Good. So we have already learned 3 different ways to make 5. On our solve and share, we saw that we could have a group of 3 yellow and 2 red. On our guided practice, we saw that we could have 1 yellow and 4 red. Or we could have 2 yellow and 3 red. That's a lot of different ways to make one group of 5. We're going to continue practicing that with page 57 and 58. 57 is the page that you are going to post to your Google Classroom. But I am going to work on this side of it with you and the other side of it so that I can tell you what you need to do for each problem, okay? So for page 57, you will still need your red and yellow crayons so that we can color our flowers and draw our matching counters in our 5 frame to show different ways to make 5, okay? So we are going to make a different way or show a different way to make 5. So what I would like for you to do, I want you to take your red crayon and I want you to color all of your daisies red, okay? So if you need to pause the video to do that, go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that we've colored 5 red daisies, we're going to make our 5 frame match that. So we're going to hang on to that red crayon and we're going to draw 5 circles, 1 in each box. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How many red daisies do we have? 5. Since we have been writing our red color on the right side, we're going to use our red crayon to write a 5 on the right side. Okay, how many yellow do we have? 0. So we're going to take our yellow crayon, and on the left side, we're going to write a 0. So now we just showed that another way to make 5 is with a group of 0 and a group of 5. Okay? So I've drawn on our board over here the different ways that we have made 5 already. And I used green so you can see it better. But we found we can make our daisy pot with 1 yellow and 4 red, which make 5 altogether, 2 yellow and 3 red, or 3 yellow and 2 red. And what we just did now is made a group of, I'm going to write it small, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red and 0 yellow. So we just made another group of 5, okay? So now, if you're looking at the board and you can see how our pattern is working, can you think of what another way we could make 5 next? I'm looking at it and going down, I see that if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow, then I could also have 1 red and still make 5. So now let's take our yellow crayon and let's color 4 yellow roses, and then we'll make our 5 frame to match with 4 yellow counters. So go ahead and color 4 yellow roses. If you need to pause the video to give yourself more time to do that, go ahead. Coloring one at a time, no scribble scrabble across all of them. Since we just colored 4, now we're going to do our 4 counters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to write a 4 on the first line to show that we have 4 yellow. So if we have 4 yellow, how many red do we have room for to make a group of 5? 1. Good. So let's color 1 red rose and make 1 red counter and write our number 1. Good. So now we just made another group of 5 in a different way with 4 and 1. Okay, let's flip to the back. And let's look at our chart again. This is going to help us visualize another way we can make 5. So if I'm going down, I see that I've done 1 yellow, 4 red, 2 yellow, 3 red, 3 yellow, 2 red, 4 yellow, 1 red. Can you picture how many yellow we can do next? What number comes after 4? 5. So I'm going to draw 5 circles to represent yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So if I have 5 yellow daisies, that means I have room for how many red? 0. Right. So we're going to color now 5 yellow flowers. These are actually not daisies on this side, but we're going to color each one at a time and count 5 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you need to pause the video to take more time to color, go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and add our counters into our 5 frames, starting on the left, going to the right. Ready? Let's count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So how many yellow do we write on the first line? 5. Good. How many red? 0. So let's use our red to write our 0 to show we just made another group. We can have a group of 5 yellow and 0 red. So in this lesson today, we've shown all the ways that we can make 5. So in our challenger problem, it tells us to think. Using our brains, we're going to draw a way to make 5 with flowers and then write the numbers to tell how many. So we're going to continue doing what we just practiced, but we're going to make our own, okay? So let's start out with our red. Let's do 2 red. Just do the best you can with drawing your flowers. I use a little circle in the middle and then little circles for the petals. And then we're going to draw 2 red counters to match. 1, 2. And write our 2 on the line over here. Okay. And then we're going to draw how many yellow? 3. If we are making a group of 5, we need 3 more to get there. So we're going to draw 3 yellow. Okay, which means we need to fill in our 5 frame with 1, 2, 3 yellow counters and write a 3 on our yellow line. So we know that's another way to make 5. Okay. All right. Great job today, friends, working towards your learning target. This, again, is a very, very tricky concept. This is something even in first grade that you work on. So you did a great job showing ways to make 5. I will see you again tomorrow for your next math lesson. Keep rocking it out, friends.